Dennis Johnson fights his way in. Will Perdue blocked him. Good defense. Bulls pushing it up. Perdue from Hodges.
Well, he took off too early. He just needed a half a step that time. But you know what's nice is that he was out on the break and they gave him the ball.
Lewis from McHale. Good pass from Kevin McHale as they doubled him. Celtics trail by 7. Reggie Lewis with 9. He has come into the game averaging 13. Hodges strong to the basket. Greg Hodges.
Greg Hodges is doing a nice job today off the dribble. Not renowned in this league as a real penetrator with a lot of savvy with the ball. But today, nice game so far.
Perdue has the tough task of handling McHale and trying to front him. McHale, and so far Perdue has done a good job against Dennis Johnson and McHale 2 times in a row.
Twice in a row he's put him behind the backboard, and a shot could not.
Sellers doesn't like to play inside all that much, but he does have a feathery touch for a 7-footer. And a timeout called by Jimmy Rogers. Rogers said the big problem he has is that everyone sees the green uniforms, and even though without Larry Bird and a record under 500, they think it's the old Celtics.
The AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am in 2 weeks on CBS Sports.
Jeep Cherokee is now exclusively available with 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. This exclusive anti-lock braking system automatically reacts to any road surface condition. So in the event of a sudden stop, the response is controlled and immediate to all 4 wheels. A valuable option. But since Cherokee is a Jeep, it's not your only option.
Save up to $1,600 on select 1989 Jeep Cherokees.
So, Dave, who'd you vote for this year?
Well, I was looking for a guy who'd be a strong leader.
Someone who could take the ball and run.
He had to stand tall and be a straight shooter.
Miller Lite wants you to get out and vote for the players in the 1989 NBA All-Star Game. Get your ballot at any NBA arena or at the Miller Lite display in stores and taverns.
So vote.
And exercise your right.
Or your left.
Miller Lite, sole sponsor of NBA All-Star voting.
Users of nasal sprays invariably encounter the same problem.
Morning, boys.
Sprays that roll back in their throat or drip out of their nose. To avoid this, they'll do just about anything. But this man has Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine doesn't roll back or drip out. It goes up and stays up, and that makes it better. So try Sinex Ultrafine Mist. It goes up and stays up. From Vicks, of course.
And early here in the second period, the Bulls have opened up their biggest lead, 11 points.
Well, Will Perdue at 7 foot, 240 pounds, last year's Southeastern Player of the Year. Watch how he helps out on a defense here, coming across the floor, extending, making himself big in there, and forces Dennis Johnson into a bad shot. Now here, watch how he uses his bulk on McHale to push McHale down below the box area. So as McHale turns, he's behind the backboard. No way can he make that shot.
And as a result, with Perdue getting more time, Dave Corzine, the 11-year veteran who's been in a shooting slump, now has dropped some more and will not see all that much action. He's not pleased with that.
Right now, Chicago just showed for the first time today a 1-3-1 half-court trap, and they get caught for a zone call because one of the back players did not get out into the area, and we can't get into that right now. We need a chalkboard to show.
In about 3 hours.
Yes.
Brad Lojas has come in for the Boston Celtics. 7-footer in his second year. Danny Ainge buries one from just inside the 3-point mark, and it's 36-27. Lojas replacing Kevin McHale, who goes out having scored 4 points. So up front, it's Lojas, Parrish, and Lewis. Hodges for 3.
I rushed that one. Dennis Johnson has gotten a hand on 3 shots so far today. Excellent extension by Dennis.
Lojas guarded by Grant. Lojas, another one of those 7-footers who prefers to shoot from outside, trying to develop an inside game. Lewis, high arcing shot. Parrish tips it in. First points of the game for Robert Parrish, who has averaged nearly 19.
See, whenever you're double and triple team and all 5 guys must rebound, and right now they're not getting that.
Purdue has a shot blocked by Parrish and a foul on Purdue.
I say, well, Purdue right now is a little frustrated, but that's okay. Here we have a Purdue trying to help out as he got lost on a pick situation that time. That opened up Robert Parrish to get in there for that uncontested rebound.
Sam Vincent, former Celtic #1 draft pick, who has been out 5 games with back spasms and did not start today, is in there now and has the ball for the Bulls. Normally starts along with Michael Jordan.
Great block that time by Horace Grant on that turnaround shot by Lojas.
A little more than 3 minutes elapsed in the second period. 36-29 Chicago. Parrish challenged by Purdue, and it's still Boston ball.
Well, you see, right when the ball goes in, it's a beautiful pass over the top. Watch out, Grant. Beautiful time. See, down at this other end, Sellers just passed the ball into a post player. You never pass the ball into a post man until he calls for the ball. Will Purdue was in a chicken fight that time trying to establish position, and Parrish was bumping him around. That way, the pass went in, and Will Purdue didn't have a chance to catch it.
You say chicken fight only because the chicken's here today? You noticed him and the little
Chicken's
chickadee?
my idol.
The chickadees, too. Horace Grant, QB mentioned. Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen, 2 new starters this year, both in their second year. Grant, the number 10 pick a year ago. He's got good range. 8:40 remaining in the first half. Lewis goes around everyone, gets the basket and the foul. Reggie Lewis with 11 points and the leading scorer for the Celtics. The foul is on Purdue, his second.
Reggie Lewis is blessed with great quickness. Watch how he takes that big step right here. Boom, there it is. Purdue, no chance. And then you always come up on the other side of the rim anytime that you think you're going to get a shot blocked.
Next Saturday, Reggie Lewis will have his number retired by Northeastern University. Of course, we'll be at Boston Garden for the Pistons-Celtics fray on Sunday. The number 35 will be retired by Northeastern. Vincent beating Purdue. And a foul before the shot against Boston, and Danny Ainge with his second.
It's nice to see Danny out here over the knee injury that he had. He had a strained knee, sprain or a strain, and it's nice to see him out here running hard.
Hodges misses the rebound by Lojas. A lot of pressure on Ainge with Bird out. He's their only outside shooter. Parrish goes right in and scores. That's what he's been doing all year, and that's why he's as good as anyone in the East.
Doug Collins wants a 20-second timeout right now. He wants to stop the run because as well as Chicago is playing, they are only ahead by 4 points at this time. But I think that if I'm Doug, I'm also concerned about the fact that the last few baskets have been much too easy.
This is a machine built for absolute dependability. And these are its hardest working parts, each meeting the highest performance standards, providing continuous, reliable service. The mechanics of American Airlines, uncompromising professionals, dedicated to perfection, flight after flight after flight.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army. So when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
Baby, I'll be there for you. You can depend on me, yeah. There's no need for you to cry, 'cause I'll be right there by your side. You can depend on me.
New improved Kodak batteries last longer than ever. So when you need us, we're there.
You can depend on me.
New Kodak batteries. Depend on us to last longer.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have taken the NBA by storm, doing it with the league's best defense. In fact, just recently, the Cavaliers blocked 21 shots in one game against the New York Knicks. Mark Price has emerged as a premier point guard. Larry Nance, the experience in Brad Daugherty, is proving why he was the #1 selection 2 years ago and the second most improved team in the league along with Golden State.
Well, the credit should go to Wayne Embry for accumulating the talent, because in case of any injuries, players 10, 11, and 12 are Tree Rollins, Phil Hubbard, and Keys, the sensational rookie out of Southern Mississippi, so that they have depth down at the end in case of any injuries. They have excellent three-point shooters in Harper, Elo, and in Price. They have terrific post-up people. And then Lenny Wilkins, always one of the premier defensive coaches in the league, have made it almost impossible to get down that lane.
And they have a better road record than a lot of clubs' home record, don't they? They are playing solid. Cartwright back in the game, hits the shot. Of course, you coach Bill Cartwright. I think you probably know him as well as anyone.
Billy Cartwright, with his back to the basket, has as many moves as anyone in basketball. And his shooting is down this year. He's only shooting 48%. But he, as a career, 55% shooter and a 78% shooter on the foul line.
Michael Jordan, who was out of the game, returns. Replacing Hodges, Jordan scored 13 points, all in the first quarter. 7 on the shot clock. Lojas. Good touch from outside. Second year out of Iowa.
See, Chicago is giving them that outside shot anytime that they want. They're laying off all of the perimeter people except for Ainge.
Lojas defending against Grant now. Cartwright looking inside to Grant. Rebound Reggie Lewis, and a chance for the Celtics to come within 2. Lojas had it slapped away by Scottie Pippen. John Paxson. And Grant travels. He saw Dennis Johnson in front of him. Good switch, jump switch by Dennis.
You always, as a point guard, you are always susceptible to forcing a turnover yourself by giving the ball to a big man running a lane too far out, because they're not accustomed to handling the ball. And in that time, by Dennis moving over, I mean, he was still 20 feet from the hole on that turnover.
Under 7 minutes to go, first half. Bulls have led all the way by as much as 11, but their lead is 4 right now. Ainge, and three-point land hits, and Danny Ainge, and that's the first three-point basket the Celtics have made against the Bulls in 2 games plus this year. Chicago lead has been cut to 1 on a 14-4 run by the Celtics in the last 4 minutes.
There's a clear out.
Jordan banks it in. What a rally breaker, huh?
I tell you, he would have been great playing Minnesota Fats.
Fats would have no shot. 42-39 Bulls, nearly halfway through the second period. Dennis Johnson with a Parrish screen. Lojas hustle. Ainge for 3. Lewis with the offensive rebound. And a loose ball foul against the Chicago Bulls. But Jimmy Rogers has to love the hustle by this Boston Celtic team right now.
And I watched Dennis Johnson working real hard. Here we have a great offensive player, one of the best ever, versus one of the premier defensive guards in the history of basketball. And Dennis played him as well as you could play him, but because of the elevation, he still gets the shot.
McHale back in for Boston, and Scottie Pippen has picked up his 3rd personal foul. Stays in the game with 3.
Nice defense by Paxson.
Double on McHale. Pippen all over the court. Ainge with another 3 attempt. Parrish. Forget it. Basket counts and a foul. Robert Parrish. And they're not blocking out Chicago now.
Well, it's difficult to block out whenever you're running double and triple teams at people on either side of the lane. Now, when the shot goes up, you just cannot stand. All 5 guys then must go and rebound. Give the Celtics the credit, because the Celtics are going in there and they are banging. Their 3 front court people are doing an outstanding job on the offensive board.
Foul was on Grant. We're checking to see whether Pippen does have 3. We're not sure. Grant picked up his 2nd. Tied at 42. Our 2nd tie of the ball game right now. Cartwright working against Parrish. Nearly made a great move with the left hand.
I had hung there. Anytime that a player has a soft touch, you also have that extra percentage of maybe it dropping in because of the way it grabs the rim.
McHale almost gave the Celtics their first lead of the game, and here's Pippen in the open court, feeding Jordan.
You know, I didn't think he saw him, Dick. You could see Michael Jordan was out in front, and it was nice to see that Pippen delivered that pass.
Reggie Lewis over Pippen. Tough shot for Lewis, and it goes in. He had Pippen in his face, and the Celtics tie it up again.
Well, Lewis is so hard to play off the dribble, Dick, because you always have to worry about him going all the way. And then if he pulls up, he's got the hype jump on.
Jordan fouled inside by Robert Parrish, and that'll be Parrish's second foul.
Here we have Chicago coming out. Pippen is going to get the ball up here now. Now watch on the left side of your screen how Jordan is out in front. You know, he could have given him the pass a little earlier, but that's okay. The main thing is the ball was delivered. Anytime that a guy runs hard in the outside lane, you must give him the ball, or maybe the next time or the time after, he'll never run as hard.
Third foul on Robert Parrish, and Mark Akers will come in for him. Parrish has scored 7 points and has 7 rebounds, and he comes out. Parrish was knocked out of the game early when he took an elbow in the chest and came back.
You know, I asked Jimmy Rogers yesterday about Akers. Are they down on him because his minutes are low this year? And he said, no, not at all. It's because Robert Parrish is having such a sensational season that they're keeping him on the floor, and they need him with the quality minutes.
Bulls again leading by 2. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half. Double McHale. 5 on the clock. McHale does not take a good shot after that set, and the rebound by Grant.
That's because Scottie Pippen's size. He bluffed Ainge out of the shot and then really challenged McHale.
Jordan looking for an opening. Double team. No basket. Offensive interference.
Well, that's the slot referee, Dick. That's his call. And he was right on top of that one. Cartwright catches a piece of it, and it doesn't matter how much. When that ball is over the cylinder of the basket, you're not allowed to touch it.
Bulls have no offensive rebounds. The Celtics have all 7. They have been powering on the offensive glass. Chicago leads 46-44. Double Reggie Lewis. Ainge for 3. And the Celtics can't get it done. They've gotten it tied a couple of times, but not had the lead. Paxson. McHale clear. Dennis Johnson. Here's Lewis baseline against the big Cartwright. Went up anyway. Challenged it. Akers gets the basket and ties the score. The Celtics are doing a number on the offensive glass, and Doug Collins has to be disturbed about that.
Well, they're the second best defensive rebounding team in this league, so it isn't like this happens a night in and night out. We're seeing a rarity here. Give the Celtics the credit because they're working so hard.
And McHale is at both ends. Celtics looking for their first lead of the game, and Reggie Lewis stuffed inside, and Pippen a 4-on-1 Chicago fast break. Pippen. Jordan gave it up, and Pippen will go to the line.
That was a tough shot. Scottie didn't have a prayer of making that shot. It's that old story. Sometimes you should take that ball and win with the left hand, and even though you might not be dominant, at least give it a good try.
I'm the big daddy of the greatest bar game of all time, Fuse Ball. And us Fuse Ballers drink Miller Lite. Miller Lite's a less filling beer, brewed from the ground up. It's not a watered-down version of a regular beer. And Fuse Ball is a great game, because when a guy loses, everyone knows he loses.
When it's Miller Lite, less filling, tastes great.
I think we have a loser.
Hey, bare-handed.
The fact that every Eagle interior delivers unsurpassed room is pretty important. But there's another benefit worth listening to.
Being neutral
the Swiss enjoy the best of all worlds. Cars from Italy, clothes from Paris, shoes from England, and from America, Old Spice Liquid Stick, a new antiperspirant. With the smoothness of a roll-on and the speed of a stick, it also combines the best of all worlds for total protection. After all, nothing's more important to the Swiss than good relations. Old Spice Liquid Stick, the world's most advanced form of protection.
Pat O'Brien in New York City coming up on the Prudential at the half. We'll fire up the scoreboard here in New York and bring you up to date on all the late scores and highlights and news. And we'll hear from some NBA stars on the meaning of Dr. Martin Luther King's life as we celebrate his birthday. All that and more at a familiar place, the Prudential at the half. And Dick and Hubie, we're also proud to bring you some exclusive Super Bowl hype footage. And I know you'll be watching for that. Let's go back to you guys.
All right, Pat, we got a week to go before that game, but we've got a good one going here, Hubie. And we were talking, we got to like the way Jimmy Rogers has the Celtic team hustling and all over the floor.
Well, he feels that he spends an awful lot of time on the defense in the practice sessions, and you can see the results here. But it goes right back to the old story. It's the defensive pressure initiated with Ainge and Dennis Johnson in the backcourt. And just think about how many bad shots the Bulls have just put up here in the last 4 to 5 minutes again. What I like, we're seeing at both ends, the initial challenge on the shot defensively is there, forcing guys to take bad shots. Now it comes down to which team will take care of their defensive board the best.
Jimmy Rogers said, I'm not really reconstructing the team, it's more remodeling. He says the plan was to get the youth involved and cut the minutes of the veterans, and that was before Larry Bird got hurt. So it's been a little rugged. Scottie Pippen on the line. The foul was on Ainge. He has 3, and Robert Parrish has 3. So foul trouble could affect the Celtics here with 2:34 remaining in the first half.
Well, if there's a flaw in Scottie's game, it's the foul line. He has been a very poor foul shooter. He's only shooting 63% for the season.
Paxson in the backcourt with Shaw.
The foul call, Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen now has picked up his 3rd. We had checked before, he had 2. Now he gets his 3rd, so he is the only Chicago Bull with 3.
Now, to see, that was a bad foul because it's the penalty. It put the Boston in the penalty, and the foul happened about 27 feet away from the basket. It was kind of a bad gamble to go for that steal there.
2 shots.
Celtics have had a miserable time against the Central Division, and I guess a lot of teams have. They are 1-10 against the Central Division and have lost all 4 road games. Of course, the Celtics have had road woes all year. They have managed just 4 wins, 2 against New Jersey, San Antonio, and Miami, so they have yet to beat a good team on the road this year. That's one of the things has to be high on Rogers' list.
Well, before we get them again next Sunday, they still have to go to Detroit tomorrow, to Philadelphia on Wednesday, and then they have Philly home on Friday night. Tough week.
Celtics have their first lead of the ball game as a result of the free throws by Lewis, and now Brian Shaw committing the foul.
Akers down inside on Cartwright. He was roughing him around that time. Most referees will allow you to rough up a guy if you just use your forearm, but don't use your hands pushing the guy with your hands. And he got caught twice that time.
14 fouls on the Celtics, 1 more, and they're in the penalty. Wind down to 2 minutes to go in the half. Greg Hodges guarded by Jim Paxson.
2 minutes left in the half.
Looking for Cartwright. Akers on him. Good time to go to Cartwright. That's his shot. And Bill Cartwright with 8 points, but someone that the Celtics have to honor inside, and the Bulls tie it up. Paxson on Shaw. Jordan is guarding Lewis and overplaying him. Paxson, good position and a foul against Hodges. Seen at Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls are 19-14 in a tough division. They're tied with the Boston Celtics at 48. 1:35 to go in the second period. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Celtics, as you know, playing without Larry Bird. He had surgery on both heels to remove bone spurs, and he expects to come back before the 1st of March.
See, right now, the Chicago Bulls are playing Michael Jordan as a small forward, and then they have Hodges and Paxson in the backcourt. Unfortunately for them, Hodges is matched up with Paxson, and they're going to post Paxson.
Michael Jordan with 21 points.
That was beautiful, Dick. That was beautiful.
McHale. Rebound by Cartwright. Here's Hodges pushing it up. He's got Grant and Jordan on the wing. Hodges. Now Lewis, and the Celtics will try to push it up themselves with a minute to go in a tie game of 50 here at Chicago Stadium. Close game. Well played first half. Game's been tied 6 times. Shaw stepped on the line. Turns it over to the Bulls.
Here we have Hodges. Now watch the lob right to the front of the rim. See, the defensive man is getting caught on the top side on Michael Jordan down on that baseline. You must play between Jordan and the basket. You cannot play on the top side of him.
Cartwright double team for the moment over Akers again. Parrish is on the bench with 3 personal fouls, and the Bulls are taking advantage with Cartwright.
Yeah, but Akers has played him very, very tough. He's been right up on top of that shot. But when Billy steps back and falls away, he's 7-2, and he's going to get that shot up over the top of you.
11 on the shot clock. You're looking at the game clock in the half. McHale is fouled before the shot.
The foul on Bill Cartwright.
And Bill Cartwright with his second foul. Don't forget, Prudential at the half coming up. Pat O'Brien in our New York studios as McHale goes to the line.
Kevin McHale has so many moves down inside. And if you notice, he rarely puts the ball on the floor. He moves, he keeps using his pivot foot, he goes down to the base, swings back, he crosses over, and he very rarely dribbles the ball. And I think one of the greatest things in Kevin's career, everybody knows he's won the 6-man award in '84 and '85, but he is the first player and the only player in the history of the game to shoot 60% from the floor and over 80% on the foul line. In the history of the NBA, that's incredible.
Phenomenal. Today struggling a bit with 1 for 7 from the field. Bulls beating the pressure. Grant on the alley-oop. Grant again. And a foul called against the Celtics with 6 seconds to go. They beat the pressure there nicely.
Well, you have to make those because that was an easy. That was almost a gimme. But at least Grant had the presence. He was discouraged that he missed it, but he went right back for the rebound. And when he got the rebound, there was nothing else that the Celtics, they had to foul him or he's going to dunk it.
Second foul on Akers. Substitutions. Vincent is going to come in for Chicago. Will Perdue has come in for the Bulls. Grant is on the line. 6 seconds remaining. Making his first appearance is Kevin Gamble. Now there's Ames. He comes in. There's Kevin Gamble, who was signed when Larry Bird got hurt. He was a leading scorer in the CBA, averaging 28 out of Iowa. We played with Lojas in college.
Well, right now, there's a lot of movement here because they're trying to match up with one another for this last 6 seconds of the quarter. You do not want a mismatch in quickness right now.
There's the pressure. Perdue pressuring the inbound pass. 54-52 Chicago. Gamble doesn't have control. Will lose it. 1 second. If it goes, it'll count, and it's way off the mark. And that's it in a very close halftime. And Jimmy Rogers has to like what he's seen thus far. That's the end of the first half with the score. Bulls 54, Celtics 52. Pat O'Brien returns with At the Half after this message.
Take the first step toward a whole new future. During Century 21 Career Opportunity Week. At our career sessions, you'll find out why we're #1 and how our training and innovative support programs could make you #1. The right place is Century 21. The right time is now. Call your local Century 21 office today.
Career Opportunity Week, January 16th through the 22nd.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Maybe you should try something else. My dandruff shampoo really works.
Maybe you should try something else, like Selsun Blue.
Doctors and pharmacists recommend Selsun Blue more than all other leading brands combined.
What that means to you is no leading brand gets rid of dandruff better than Selsun Blue. It's #1.
And all Selsun Blue formulas, including extra conditioning and extra medicated, have the ingredient recommended most by doctors.
So are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Dad was afraid I'd find a starving artist up here.
Oh, Dad was worried.
Okay, I admit, I was a bit worried when my little sister took off on her own.
I'm not so little anymore.
Here, let me get that.
No way. It's mine.
American Express, huh? I'm gonna stop worrying about you.
Making you feel like a million. To become a member, look for this display and take one.
If you don't keep my secret, you will destroy the lives of 5 people.
Obviously, someone got the point.
Punch a wound to the heart.
On Murder, She Wrote. Then, the most hated white man in the South.
I'm going to run the Ku Klux Klan out of Alabama. There's a whole army out there.
But his fight for justice and equality could not be stopped. Based on a true story, Peter Coyote, Unconquered, a special presentation tonight.
CBS Sports presents The Prudential at the Half. Sponsored by the companies of The Prudential. Come to The Prudential and build your future on the Rock.
And our score in Chicago at the half. Chicago leads the Boston Celtics 54-52. And from New York City, good afternoon again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. And once again, welcome to The Prudential at the half. Let's go right to the scoreboard and see what's going on this late Sunday. We start in Milwaukee, where it's the Pistons and the Bucks. Milwaukee leads Detroit 103-97, but the story of this game is that prior to the game, Sidney Moncrief was put on the injured list with a leg injury. As far as we can tell, he'll be out a minimum of 5 games. They say it's not serious. Philadelphia marched into Charlotte this afternoon and rolled over the Hornets 115-109. But the story of this game was Charles Barkley. The sledgehammer came to play on defense. He blocks a Rex Chapman shot and goes in. Then he shows us that he can pass behind his back to Shelton Jones. They used to call him the round mound of rebound. 15 rebounds today. And just to show that he deserved his picture on the cover of Sports Illustrated, he hits the outside three-pointer, 24 points. Forget about the All-Madden team. Make this guy the captain today. Meantime, in college basketball, earlier today on CBS, it was number 3 Oklahoma visiting the Igloo in Pittsburgh.
20 points 7 times this year, and if he gets enough shots, he'll score 20 a lot.
Well, he's 6 for 10 from the field right now.
Bulls rotating now. Jordan picks up 8. 7 on the shot clock. Reggie Lewis's jumper drops. Lewis with 18 points, the Celtic top scorer.
Well, you know what I like about his game? His jumper today has been extremely soft, and it's grabbed and held him now for three field goals. And it's really got beautiful backspin.
McHale all over Grant. Cartwright works in against Parrish, and Parrish picks up his 4th personal foul. 4 on Roberts, so Jimmy Rogers has a decision to make.
Well, 2 guys are really playing one another very, very tough. Here's Michael Jordan making something happen here right now. Now, even though he draws the 2 defenders, now watch what happens. The free man just steps back, and it's the old story. Anytime that you're playing with a great player and he gets double and triple teamed, if you move to the free area and he's unselfish, he'll get you the ball for the open shot.
Parrish stays in the game with his 4th foul, and here's Cartwright. And a lot of people forget, you know it better than anyone, about the bone graft surgery. Cartwright was out 2.5 years. No one thought he'd ever come back.
Well, I think the major plus for Billy has been that he's playing 31 minutes and he feels good. As a matter of fact, he asked Doug if he could play a few more minutes.
Doesn't everybody?
and a few extra shots.
60-58, the Bulls lead. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Celtics. There's Dennis Johnson. That's what you were talking about with the double down. They have a lot of wide open outside shots. Tied at 60 with just about 3 minutes going by in this 3rd quarter. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Bulls who have Jordan and the Celtics who don't have Bird. And the Celtics hanging in nicely. Cartwright baseline. Parrish with 4 fouls wasn't going to touch him.
No, Billy caught him on a drop step, and anytime you're a pivot man and you can like hook the defensive man with your leg, you can get around him, and that time Parrish was not going to pick up a silly foul.
Haynes with a 2-point basket. He has 9, and it's a tie again at 62. We have had 11 ties in this game. Bulls led by 11 in the first half. Bill Cartwright. Baseline. He's going to work now. 8 points already in this period.
See, this is a tough decision for Jimmy right now because he needs better defensive play on Cartwright. You can't let Cartwright just go uncontested here.
Lewis in and out. Rebound Pippen. 3-on-2 Chicago. Jordan. And look how Dennis Johnson played him there.
He gave a beautiful bump with the lower body and put him right out of his shot. That was excellent.
On a deflection. The Milwaukee Bucks have defeated the Detroit Pistons. As you know, playing without Joe Dumars, 120 to 112. Milwaukee's been a very silent story this year.
Well, everyone's talking about every other team in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee quietly 21 and 11 at this time.
It is quiet. It's like Jordan's quiet 21 at the half.
Yes.
Hasn't scored yet in the third. 7:45 to go. Dennis Johnson getting the range. Has hit 2 in a row. And the Celtics have again tied the game at 64.
Michael Jordan is laboring out here. With 6 minutes to go in the last quarter against Denver the other night, he twisted his right ankle, and he has swelling on the inside and in the outside of that ankle. So he's picking his spots to explode.
How about that? That's a good cut and a great pass. Right, perfect place.
That's what all the players will tell you. All you have to do is cut and be open. Michael will get you to basketball.
Bulls lead by 2 and a timeout called by Jimmy Rogers. 7:16 to go in the third.
The object of art is to give life shape.
Hey, Art!
Do you think Monsieur Ennui had Corsica in mind? I can resist everything except temptation. Do you think Oscar had Chevy Beretta in mind?
Best player in the game is me, Mars Blackman. And I'm way above the rim, demonstrating some serious hang time. Very serious. Do you know how I get up for my game? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? That's right. Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan. Mike, what's up? Oh, money. Why you want to do that to me? Why you leave me hanging? Come on. I got it. Oh, Mike, man. That's cold.
GM makes the dream. GMAC makes the dream yours with either financing or smart lease. Handled quickly, easily, right at your GM dealers.
The dreams of America, GMAC.
Don't let the smile fool ya. The Pistons battle the Celtics next Sunday.
The Bulls lead the Celtics by 2 nearly halfway through this third period. And, of course, the great celebrity of Michael Jordan goes well beyond the basketball floor. And here he is in a makeup session. What they did was they made a very attractive calendar, a Michael Jordan calendar. Here are some of the shots. When you are a compelling personality, besides being a great athlete, but a personality that people like and flock to, you can do those things, and it really expands your world.
Well, you know, it's nice. He has time for everyone. He'll stand and sign autographs for the children. He is very pleasant, and when you talk to the players on this team, traveling with Michael Jordan is like traveling with a rock star, a movie star. You name it. I mean, he does not take a back seat to anybody.
Except in the limo, he takes a back seat.
Yeah.
Right. Danny Ainge right at the key. I'm allowed one pun a game. Tied at 60 a season, Mike Burke said. Okay, that's the pun of the year. 66 all. Just under 7 minutes to go in this period. Jordan working against Dennis Johnson. John Paxson, his dad, Jim Paxson used to play in the league, was at the Bulls practicing. John misses the rebound. McHale hasn't done much scoring. Hasn't, in fact, hit a basket since the 4-minute mark of the first period, but he's doing everything else out there. Rebound, Pippen. Jordan. Oh! Cartwright lost control. Pippen. Like a shot out of a cannon, Hubie.
Listen, that's the fastest I've seen Bill Cartwright run in his career. All right. I think he was surprised when he made the catch.
But Pippen was there, and 13 for Scotty. Lewis comes right back. 20 points for Lewis. Remember, he scored his career high 33 in this building earlier this season.
What I like about it is he stays within his range. He stays in that 17, 18-foot area, and he has command on that shot once he elevates.
Jordan with a three-point attempt. Rebound Parrish. Celtics can take the lead. They've had the lead once today, 48-46. Parrish, playing with 4 fouls, is pushed, and that'll be the second team foul against Chicago.
Now watch as Pippen comes out of here. He makes a bad commitment here. Watch this. Boom. As he goes up to make the dunk, the ball slips right out of Cartwright's hand.
Cartwright has picked up his 3rd foul, so he really is not in foul trouble yet at this stage. 3 in this juncture isn't bad. Lewis, good feed from Parrish.
See, that time Paxson, Chicago switched. Paxson was on Lewis. Lewis immediately ran to the low post area. Paxson smartly fronted him. But then any time that you lob a pass over your head, there's nothing you can do about it. The best thing to do is foul a man. Do not give him the layup. Make him make the 2 foul shots.
He's made the first, and coming up will be his 10th free throw attempt, which gives you an example of what kind of an inside player and relentless offensive rebounder Reggie has been today.
Well, I know Dennis Johnson does not blow a lot of smoke on guys, and he said that Reggie Lewis is going to be a great star in this league.
That's all you need to know. Celtics with their second lead of the game, 70-68, 5:20 to go in the 3rd, and they're extending their defense too. Jordan bumping Johnson, and they'll call the foul on Dennis. It'll be the second team foul and second personal. Chicago Stadium, where Michael Jordan performs his magic, and today Jordan has 21, has yet to score in the 3rd quarter, and the Boston Celtics more than holding their own against the Chicago Bulls, leading 70-68, 5:15 to go in the 3rd. Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Bulls at 19-14. That's where they were exactly a year ago record-wise. And the Celtics under 500. They're playing very well today. Hodges. Cartwright.
Plenty of time. 9 seconds on the clock.
You can have a party out there before they have to shoot. Pippen in 3-point territory. Well, there he goes.
You know, that was nice. He had the 3-point shot, but when the defensive man left him, he just took it in and made that nice 15-foot jumper.
The game's been tied 16 times, and we still have 4:40 to go in the 3rd. Paxson teamed with Johnson. Ainge getting a breather on the bench. Parrish with a screen, and Johnson foul going in. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Bulls, and Michael Jordan's 2nd personal.
That was a tough angle to try to go for the double team. The defensive man, Hodges, picked up the foul because he came at a bad angle, and he had to reach across Dennis Johnson's body to get the steal.
So here's Dennis Johnson, who's 34 years old. Parrish is 35, McHale 31. So that's all you need to know as far as Jimmy Rogers' plans of getting new blood in there. And that's why you're seeing a lot of Lojas and Lewis and Shaw and some of the others, as the Celtics really making kind of a transition.
Well, there are 12 players on the team right now, and 6 of them have 2 years or less. So outside of Jimmy Paxson coming off the bench, you know, he was a 2-year all-star player out there at Portland in his younger days. The rest of the guys are young legs.
Jordan was marked by Dennis Johnson. Talk about young legs. Tied at 72 again. 23 for Michael Jordan. That was his first basket of the 3rd period. Paxson doesn't have control, loses it to Cartwright. Here's Hodges, 3-on-2 Bulls. Jordan. Lefty, not that time. Outlet pass, nice by Parrish. McHale pulls up and hits over Cartwright. Good outlet pass by Robert Parrish.
That was very nice at both ends of the floor. We had great defensive play, good rebounding, kicked out. And you know what I liked about that? How quickly McHale pulled up on that dribble and hit the uncontested shot.
Boston by 2. Jordan didn't have a shot. Hodges fires for 3.
See, he hasn't been set yet. He's taken 3 threes, and all of them he was moving.
Jordan looks down, checks he's in the 3-point territory, misses. Celtics with an to now open up their biggest lead of the game if they score. Lewis. Rebound Pippen.
When you're coaching and when a game gets like this, what you want to do is grab everybody,
hold
slow them down. Will somebody take a good shot?
Jordan beats Grant.
Now you knew he was going to pass that.
No. I think Grant knew.
Watch this scoop pass as the defense comes. Here comes McHale to cut it off. There's the double team. What a drop off. When you play with Michael Jordan and he penetrates inside the foul line, you should always have your hands up at your numbers because you never know when he's going to deliver the pass.
You know, Hubie, he's the leading scorer on the team. But I think what Doug Collins says is, look, set people up. Fourth quarter is your quarter, right? And I think that's what Michael Jordan tries to establish. I have a hunch he'll do a lot of shooting and scoring in that fourth. Paxson with under 3 minutes to go, trying to get it to Parrish. Picked off by Jordan. 3-on-1. Jordan. Oh!
Pebble Beach National Pro-Am in 2 weeks on CBS Sports.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son. It's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth strip for the best a man can get.
You've seen those Chevy versus Ford tests, right? We came up with one of our own. Half-ton 4x4s, best available tires, driven at the same identical speed right through this 18-inch deep ditch. Now, this is a real control test, so don't you try it because you'll damage your truck. That's a Chevy with torsion bar suspension, and that's the Ford with twin traction beam suspension. And you can see why we've had to change the heart and pickups.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Pure. Genuine. Never heat pasteurized. A beer that's made unlike any other. Cold filtered to give you the rich, smooth taste of real draft beer. That's the mark of a great beer. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. It's as real as it gets.
How about a big Saturday on CBS Sports next week beginning at noon Eastern time? Syracuse of the Big East against Notre Dame. They knocked off UCLA. Regionally, following that game, some of you will see Villanova against Arizona with Sean Elliott or Texas against Vanderbilt. And that'll all be followed by the resumption of golf on CBS, the Phoenix Open, Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. A full day of great sports activity on CBS Sports. All right, Hubie, without Larry Bird, let's see where the Celtics have tried to pick up the slack. That's what they scored and averaged last season, and this is what they're doing today. And, of course, a couple of people really jump out at you.
Well, Parrish is getting more minutes, naturally more shot opportunities, and he's having an outstanding season. And then Reggie Lewis is emerging.
Reggie Lewis is indeed 22 points at this stage, leading the Celtics, and one of 3 players in double figures. Ron Grandison is in for Boston. Their backcourt is still Jim Paxson and Dennis Johnson, but Grandison is up front with McHale and Parrish. So Lewis getting a breather now. 10 on the shot clock, 2.5 to go in the third. Bulls on a run, leading by 3. Grandison. And Sellers, who's come in. So Sellers, Grant, with Cartwright, the front court for the Bulls, with Hodges and Pippen. lineup out there. Scottie Pippen playing a guard position.
Well, it's good because they're trying to match up due to the fact that the Celtics have Paxson in the backcourt with Dennis Johnson.
Parrish turnaround, lands on the floor. He was elbowed in the chest before. 77-76 Chicago. Michael Jordan getting a rest right now, and that'll include the between periods breathing. 1:40 to go in the third.
Plenty of time. 7 seconds.
Fronting Cartwright is Parrish. He's playing aggressively despite 4 fouls. Driving in and a blocking foul. Called against Boston's Grandison, and Pippen will go to the line and shoot 2.
Jimmy Rogers is livid right now. Mainly because the official who had it was right on the play. Underneath, the official calls a foul on the shot. Now watch UB Evans in the back here. In the back of your picture. We get blocked out here right now, but Jimmy Rogers right now is all over Benny Salvador right now, telling him that he thought UB Evans might have had an offensive foul.
It looked like he was starting to signal that. Pippen now 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
But you see, when referees are working together, see, they're having a nice conference over here because you know why Salvador wasn't involved in the call.
He went to the third.
Right, that's right.
That's a good advantage of having a third guy. Wait till the playoffs and we have the alternate, the 4th guy behind him. Pippen makes 1 out of 2, and the Bulls lead 78-76. We've had 11 ties in this quarter, and if the Celtics score, we'll have number 12 on this possession. Knocked away by Pippen. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 10, a 3-point attempt. Paxson no good. Sellers the rebound. Sellers has come out strong today in the few moments he's been in there.
This is a young player who's taking a little heat here in Chicago.
Grant travels.
Yeah, a little excited that time. You know, when he made the catch, he was trying to move before the ball was there. He picked up his pivot foot. I wanted to go back to a point on refereeing. 3 guys are really working together. Even though that outside guy might have had a different call, if you notice, they were checking one another's eyes, and he gave that the fella underneath the basket, the lead ref at that time, and that was his call. And here we have
Dave Corzine.
Forgotten man.
Did not play Friday night. Raised a lot of eyebrows. He was the starting center last year for this team. And Lojas in the game for the Celtics. McHale, Lojas, and Grandison, their front. Parrish on them. Shaw in the game for Boston. Paxson gets the jumper.
You can't keep giving Jimmy Paxson that shot at the top of the circle. I mean, we're talking about a guy who scored an awful lot of points in this league.
And has gotten the range back. He got cold for a while. Now he's back on the mark.
Well, Jimmy Rogers told me yesterday that in the last 3 games, his shooting has really picked up.
Hodges misses. Sellers finds Pippen. Good feed by Sellers, and the Bulls lead again.
Caught the Celtics standing around that time. One of the very few times.
Celtics leading scorer Lewis. Right now he's on the bench with 22 points. Johnson with 14 and Ainge 11. Parrish also 11. Shaw, that's what he does best. McHale tips it in. 10 points for Kevin McHale, but McHale and Parrish are well under their season's average. Timeout, Chicago.
Well, Doug Collins is upset because when Brian Shaw beat his man off the dribble, Corzine had to step out in order to pick up that defensive penetration, and that's how McHale became open going on the offensive board. Here we have that pass. Watch down on the baseline now. That was a very nice look for Sellers. And
we mentioned earlier the Celtics struggling, have lost 10 of 11 games against the Central Division. This is the last 4 years in what they've done against the Central Division, and they're struggling here. And they're 1-10 and 0-4, as we said, and the Central's been very tough for them.
But, you know, Dick, they're without Larry Bird, the go-to guy who decides whether the game is going to be won or lost, all right, in previous years. Right now, they have lost 7 games by 6 points or less. And Jimmy Rogers said to us yesterday that the go-to guy changes now according to who's hot at night during that course of the ball game. So when that happens, you don't get into a comfort zone of who's going to do it and what set play, etc. might get the job done for you.
You were talking to Danny Ainge just about that fact before the ball game.
Yeah, well, Danny kind of felt that individually they've gone off on their own. and they're trying to do it because there's plenty of talent here who have been in critical situations at playoff time, rather than play as a team. And he thinks that they are getting back into that right now of Boston Celtic team play. Let's make up for our weaknesses as five rather than going one-on-one.
This week they suffered maybe their most embarrassing loss of the season. They were beaten by the Indiana Pacers by 19 points at Boston Garden. The Pacers had not won a game on the road, and I think that if there's ever a turning point for Boston somewhere down the line, maybe that game. They played well against New Jersey. Whether they win or lose today, they're playing a lot better.
Oh, they're playing very hard.
10 seconds to go in the third quarter. 80-80 the score. We have had a bundle of ties in this game. Jordan fights for the shot. Akers, that'll do it. And that's the end of the third period here in Chicago with the score. The Bulls 80 and the Celtics 80. And we'll return to Chicago Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
My mom's going to Tokyo on business. Tokyo, where's that? About 1,000,000 miles away. Wow, she better bring a sweater.
Every day, Northwest flies from more of the U.S. to more of Asia than any other airline.
You just got a frequent flyer award, huh?
That's right.
You don't fly frequently.
No, infrequently.
How can you be a frequent flyer if you don't fly frequently?
How can I hit the ball if you're talking to me?
How can you hit the ball if you're going to be talking over there?
On Northwest, you don't have to fly a lot to earn a free trip fast.
A recent Department of Energy study reveals that most American homes are under-insulated. And that means you. To find out what's right for your home, call Owens Corning at 1-800-GET-PINK.
Dad, is there any way you could send the money today?
To send money fast, come to Western Union. It'll get to any of our 10,000 locations usually in 15 minutes or less.
Keep in touch.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
This is CBS.
Dear Wells Fargo, thank you for the written confirmation on a recent service I requested involving a transfer of money from one of my accounts to another using the 24-hour service. The service you now provide is most outstanding and truly appreciated. I'm impressed to the extent that I brag to others I know about the service Wells Fargo provides me. I hope you'll be able to continue that service.
Wells Fargo, proven 24-hour person-to-person checking. You've got to hear it to believe it.
Charge car rentals with the Gold Card and feel secure that the car and its contents are covered for loss and damage, and that you and your passengers are covered for personal injury, all at no extra charge. Reason alone to possess the Gold Card. Securing tickets to a hit London show can be a performance in itself. But if you're a Gold Card member, American Express Envoy can arrange your travel and theater tickets without any box office drama. Reason alone to possess the Gold Card.
Watch Sports Director Keith Olbermann on Channel 2 Action News.
Here we go. Sleepy to Olajuwon, right at the buzzer. Goal! Here comes Magic. He's got it. He throws it on the way for three. Jordan. Rejected by Ewing. Grant can't hit. Here's Pippen.
NBA action. It's fantastic.
Stockton and Hubie Brown, and as we start the fourth quarter, you can see how Boston has outshot Chicago dramatically in the third quarter. Those are the high scorers, Reggie Lewis and Michael Jordan. But Hubie made a point at halftime that with all of the inside doubling, that the guards may be able to go to town, and they have, because the Celtic guards have accounted for 14 of their 28 points in the third quarter, and they're even after trailing by 2 at the half. Upset, North Carolina knocked off by Virginia, 106-83 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. We start the fourth period.
Well, with Michael Jordan only scoring 4 points that quarter, it'll be interesting to see if he tries to take over the game right now.
Normally the fourth quarter is his quarter. Jordan going in, left-handed basket counts, and a foul changed hands at the right time. Foul is on Lojas. Guess it didn't take him long, Hubie.
It's the advantage. It's the advantage of being able to shoot with either hand on the drive into the hole. He does this with confidence. See how he just laid that out there? But he brought it up on the right side to take the defensive man to him.
28 points for Michael Jordan. He's averaging 35 plus, leading the league. And the Bulls are up by 3. Paxson and Brian Shaw at guard. Lojas, Akers up front, along with Lewis. So McHale and Parrish start the 4th period on the bench. Celtics trying to buy time without the 2 big scorers. Lewis. Rebound Grant. Corzine, Hodges, and Sellers.
See, with Corzine in there, they just have another perimeter guy. No low post. That was a moving pick that time by Corzine.
He's been around enough to know.
Yeah, no complaining there at all.
Interesting that the only Celtics starter as we start this final quarter is Reggie Lewis, and the Bulls just have 2 starters in Grant and Jordan. Minute gone by, 4th period. Paxson with a runner. Paxson lead to 1.
Jimmy's looking for the shot today. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
3 years older. 4 inches. 5 points in this 4th period for Jordan. Less than 2 minutes gone by. Lewis. Big jumper for Lewis, and he leads Boston with 24.
See, with the double teaming on the one side, if you reverse the ball to the opposite side of the floor with 2 passes, that man will be open.
Jordan inside, out, open is Sellers.
Paxson is injured. Paxson wants a substitution here. He took a real blow to the thigh.
22nd timeout called by Jimmy Rogers. Ainge has had a long rest on the bench.
Here we have Michael. Now, watch Michael turn the corner here right now and attack the basket. What explosiveness right there. Michael Jordan right now is 183 points, close to scoring the 10,000 of his career. When he does that, he will be the 2nd fastest in the history of the NBA to get there. Wilt is first, Wilt Chamberlain. He will replace Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 2nd player to reach 10,000 points in a short amount of games.
And of course, he's had his share of 50-point games, and you see that considering how many years he's played, Elgin Baylor and Wilt Chamberlain have more.
But are you saying Wilt's 118?
Let's look it up again. No,
yes.
Sorry, Wilt. Didn't mean that, big guy. Shaw. Ainge replaces Paxson. 6 on the shot clock, and Danny Ainge hits. Danny Ainge with 13 points. All 5 Celtics starters with double figures in the game. Bulls lead again, cut to 1. It looks like right now Jordan against the Celtics. It's the way this 4th period has started out.
There's a clear out.
Against the rookie Shaw, Jordan picked up nicely by Akers. Doesn't matter. Basket good. And a foul. What can you do?
Well, when he turned and he faced Brian Shaw, he beats him off the dribble. That's fine. You know he beats everyone. But as he gets down to the baseline, watch how he slices in between the 2 rotating players right there. That was an amazing move.
The numbers on Jordan, 32 points.
Teamwork makes winners. The All You Can Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Known as an electrifying slam dunk artist, Michael Jordan also possesses the uncanny ability to improve the play of his teammates. Whether tenaciously helping out on defense or displaying his unerring instinct for finding the open man, Michael Jordan uses teamwork to be the best he can be.
If you want to land a good job, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to motivate yourself, how to lead others, how to perform under pressure. You can learn all these things in the Army. So no matter what career you choose, you'll really be ready to take off.
Explore
Explosive, bold, controversial, smoldering. That's what they're saying, and it's only the beginning. Tour of Duty, Tuesday.
Plenty of time to go here in the fourth period with the Bulls leading the Celtics by 3. But as we look around the league, how about those Phoenix Suns? They have really taken the West by storm. The rise of the Suns began in '87 with #1 pick Armin the Hammer Gilliam. Then point guard Kevin Johnson joined Phoenix last February in a multiplayer trade with Cleveland. And over the summer, Tom Chambers signed as a free agent. Now the Suns apparently have returned as a contender for the West. Cotton Fitzsimmons back to coach. What has he done? Terrific.
First of all, they're 15-3 at home, but they have the 3 players that can get you 25 points in any game. When you have Chambers, Gilliam, and then off the bench, Eddie Johnson, and then the development of the point guard from California, Kenny Johnson,
yeah.
right? He is doing and averaging 18 points a game. So you like, when you have a young ball club like that, you have the veteran in Chambers, you're scoring an awful lot of points, and you're building the mystique at home, 15-3. They're only 1 game behind the Los Angeles Lakers. Fantastic coaching job.
Paul Westphal is the assistant coach out there. Michael Jordan with the free throw now with 33 points. Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish have both come back in the Celtic lineup. 9.5 to play and a 4-point Chicago lead. That's been the biggest lead either side has had in quite a while.
Now, right now, Chicago showing half-court trap. A weak pass out of that corner that time by Danny Ainge. I honestly thought Danny might have had a shot when that ball went down into the corner. Anytime that you're in any kind of 1-3-1 or a 2-3 trap, sometimes that corner, when you catch that initial pass, you're wide open.
Ainge is guarding Hodges. Lewis on Pippen. Inside, Jordan does his thing and gets 3. Celtics, great block. McHale wound up with it. We'll see who got a hand on it. Dennis Johnson draws the foul. Good defense. They triple team Michael Jordan that time.
Well, you see, when they make the move, here comes Michael on a curl move. Now watch this. There it is. He comes right back. He gets away with a walk. All right, so it could have been Boston the other way. Instead, they get the block and at this end of the floor. Now, you know what's disturbing to Doug Collins? He was upset because they had 2 Chicago Bulls back, and instead of getting in front of the dribbler, they reached and grabbed for the foul.
McHale made the defensive play and also came up with the ball. Dennis Johnson looking for his 16th point of the game, and he has practically doubled the season's average. His career average is 15.
Dennis always a good foul shooter, 83%. You know, you have a tendency to forget that Dennis is a 5-time All-Star player. Twice when he was with Seattle, 2 times at Phoenix, and then once in Boston.
3 different teams.
That's right.
That's a lot. Pippen comes strong to the hoop. Lewis has it. The Celtics, who were down by 4 a moment ago, could tie the score. We're in the 4th period at Chicago Stadium. The Celtics trying to get to the 500 mark. They've been forced to play without Larry Bird since mid-November. They foul Parrish. Bulls with the 2nd team foul. And it's on Scottie Pippen. 5 on Pippen, who has scored 18 today. 1 more and he's gone. And Horace Grant will come in and replace Scottie Pippen. Lewis with 18, Cartwright with 18 in support of Jordan's 33. Boston looking to knot it up. Cale posting up against Grant. Johnson is open. Good patience by the Celtics. Ainge throws up an air ball for a 3. Lewis grabs the loose ball and ties it up. He just picked Hodges' pocket there.
Hodges was careless that time with the rebound.
Tied at 90, another tie. It's our 20th tie of the game. Jordan batted away off of Jordan's knee, and Celtics claiming it should be Boston ball.
Well, here we have the rebound come off. Now watch out, the ball comes to Hodges, and then it was just stripped. You see that time Hodges really took his eye off of Reggie Lewis and never thought that he would attack him for the steal.
26 for Lewis today.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth Strip for the best a man can get.
It's been said Chrysler's LeBaron may be the most beautiful car to come out of an American design studio in over a decade. What hasn't been said is that it comes out with an intercooled 2.2 turbo with the security of four-wheel disc brakes and a driver's airbag standard, and that it comes out doing 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds. One other thing that hasn't been said, it comes out at a very attractive price.
Now get $500 cash back on LeBaron Coupe.
I've tried it. Now I believe it. Denerex Tingles tells me it's doing more. Head and Shoulders, no tingle.
Both have dandruff medicine, but Denerex adds both an extra anti-itch medicine and conditioner, too.
Goodbye, Head and Shoulders. Hello, Denerex.
How fast does Dristan nasal spray start to work?
Faster than Dolly can pick up a $5 tip.
Dristan works fast to relieve nasal congestion, even sinus pressure. For relief,
faster than a frog on a hot rock.
Try Dristan nasal spray. It's faster than...
The PGA Tour on CBS Sports, the season premiere. Live from the Valley of the Sun, it's the Phoenix Open, next weekend on CBS Sports.
Well, last year they played for the Eastern Division title, and the Pistons went to the championship round, beating the Celtics in 6, and they'll hook up again at Boston Garden next Sunday at noon Eastern time. Hubie and I will be there at Boston Garden on the parquet floor. CBS Sports NBA coverage continues. Pistons and the Celtics next Sunday. 8 minutes remaining in the game, and we're tied at 90. Celtics without Larry Bird. Getting 26 from Reggie Lewis, and Michael Jordan not through yet with 33. Facing the Bulls. Cartwright working hard against Parrish, and traveling call against Bill. Parrish playing with 4 fouls. He has picked up that 4th in the 3rd period, and Scottie Pippen has 5 fouls, but he's on the Chicago bench.
Trying to swing McHale into the post-up area.
Grant. McHale goes baseline for the ball. Ainge wide open. Long rebound to Jordan. He'll take his time. Trying to break the tie. Jordan goes around Ainge. Finds Hodges for 3. And McHale clears it. Celtics not as quick getting the ball up court as they were earlier. Of course, they have the veterans out there now, and they didn't do much of that last year.
No, they didn't.
Lewis, good feed inside, draws the foul. Good pass by Dennis Johnson.
Reggie Lewis has picked up so many points today. 1 on the offensive board, 2 off the dribble inside of the dotted line in the lane, and then moving without the ball as he catches his man trying to help out on Kevin McHale on the other side of the floor.
8 for 10 from the line is Reggie Lewis.
See, when you're a young player like this and you're finally getting your minutes, the thing that helps so much is the confidence of your peers. And when the guys are giving you nice accolades and they realize that you're going to, and then the coaching staff backs it up and gives you the time and the shot opportunities.
Under 7 minutes to go. In the 4th period, Cartwright goes up. And a foul. Reggie Lewis might have been the guilty party, and the Celtics with a 2-point lead. Cartwright will go to the line.
Well, Cartwright is really upset. See, you watch this beautiful pass by Jordan. See, he knew that he had a dunk, and instead he ends up with a fadeaway jump shot, which results in the 2 foul shots. He walked to the foul line very discouraged.
Team fouls are 3 apiece in this 4th period.
The thing that I like about Billy Cartwright, and it was nice to hear Doug Collins say it yesterday, the ultimate professional. Knows his job, never late, total team player, plays within whatever system you're using, doesn't complain, works extremely hard on his own, and you know that he will want the ball for you, and he'll take it to the basket to get foul shot opportunities and get the guy playing in foul trouble, and that was Doug's underline. He's always got the defensive center in foul trouble.
Cartwright has 19, made 1 out of 2. Dennis Johnson, great Try to get the pass. Jordan goes up and a foul. Anytime you foul Jordan in that situation, it's a good foul, and he wants a breakaway. Doug Collins thinks it should be breakaway, 2 shots in possession.
No breakaway. Danny Ainge caught up to Michael Jordan, cut him off, and then Dennis Johnson came right back. Now here we have the knockaway, and watch in the left side of your screen. We have, you see, there's Ainge, cuts him right off. All right, excellent play by Danny Ainge, and more important, Dennis Johnson running him down from the rear.
Perfect from the line is Michael Jordan. If Jordan makes the next free throw, he will have scored 9 of the 12 points the Bulls have accounted in this 4th period. So he really is the bulk of the offense, as expected, in the final 12 minutes. Celtics by 1. Jordan could have given Chicago the lead. Instead, he ties it up. High score. Bulls have not had a basket in the last 3 minutes, and yet they're all tied up with Boston nearly halfway through the final period. Penetrating is Dennis Johnson, looking for the foul, and he gets it. At the conclusion of the game, UB&I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game, and in conjunction with this award, Light Beer will present a check in the amount of $1,000 to the United Cerebral Palsy Association in that player's name. Cartwright's foul is 4th. Perfect from the line is Dennis Johnson. 9 for 9.
Well, Dennis is the example of it, that you do not need blinding speed to be an outstanding player. He's very intelligent with his dribble, and he picks his spot when he goes off that dribble to make that the decisive penetration to draw the foul.
Missed one after 9 successes. Celtics by 1. Cartwright setting a screen for Jordan. He'd like him to clear out. I'd like to see just one defender. Jordan. 36 points for Michael Jordan.
See, at the Boston end of the floor, they keep playing triangle basketball with McHale and now Parrish.
Parrish had a shot blocked. He couldn't have been in better low post position than he was there.
Yeah, but he didn't have his feet underneath him. He wasn't going up from a strong point.
Jordan throws it away. So the Celtics, who trail by 1, have another shot now.
Michael was frustrated because he thought Cartwright was going to step up to the basket, and if Billy would have done that, the pass was right there. There was a possible dunk.
Celtics looking for the lead. McHale gives it to him. 12 points for Kevin McHale, who's had a very quiet offensive day. Yet the Celtics lead by 1 in the 4th period. And remember, they are 4-10 on the road this year and have not beaten a winning team away from home.
Here's a clear out.
Nearly 5 minutes remaining. Hodges went over to help Dennis Johnson, and Hodges for the moment was open.
Well, from here down the wire, any player who's at the top of the circle when Jordan is on the wing will always be open. The player must make the shot, though.
Ainge, 3-point try. He's got it. He has both Celtic 3-point baskets today and 16 in the game. And Boston leads 98-96. Driving in and drawing the foul. Jordan, the Bulls are looking for a goaltending call. None forthcoming. Dennis Johnson with 4 fouls. And the Celtics are in the penalty. Celtics' biggest lead was 2 points on several occasions in this game. Actually, they had a 4-point lead at one time. They'll make it 2. Bulls led by 11 in the first half. Jordan going for 38. That's what he had the other night when he had the triple-double against Denver.
Well, that interesting stat is when Michael Jordan scores over 40 a game, the Bulls are 4-4. When he scores 30 plus, they are 14-4.
Well,
so do you think he should stop scoring right now or what?
One more point is all he's allowed. We'll be back.
Mark and Brian rocking LA. It's another hot one out there. 98, 12 degrees. I know really this fight. It's hot, hot, hot.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold filtered one.
Man,
sure go for one of these. Because if you want a beer whose rich, smooth draft taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. It's as real as beer gets.
We have a slightly revised forecast. It's cold. Go.
Go on and smile, smile. Show 'em that winning grin. Show 'em your best. Crest best. You made it to pass the test. Show 'em your crest. Crest best.
Go on, show 'em that winning smile. For clean, healthy teeth, more dentists recommend Crest than any other toothpaste.
Show 'em your crest. Crest best.
Attention, all men with noses. Introducing Schick Slim Twin Disposable. It's 28% slimmer than Good News to give you a close shave even in hard-to-reach places. New Schick Slim Twin, preferred by men who have noses.
America's leading consumer products rating service says one battery, Megatron 34 from Interstate, tested best. It ran circles around better-known brands and won by a mile. Megatron 34 from Interstate. Ask for it.
Syracuse, Notre Dame. The fourth-ranked Orangemen battled the Irish. Villanova, Arizona. War of the Wildcats next Saturday on CBS Sports.
So again, a Saturday schedule at noon. Syracuse against Notre Dame at South Bend, Indiana. And then some of you will see Villanova. They beat Providence last night against Arizona. Pac-10 power. Some of you will see Texas and Vanderbilt at 2 o'clock Eastern. And then golf action resumes on CBS. Our first tournament of the season, the Phoenix Open. Third round action Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Well, you were saying just before the timeout about how the Bulls have done better when Michael Jordan hasn't gotten 40 points or more.
Well, as you look at the stat, 40 plus 4 and 4, you know, the meaningful thing is anytime he's 30 to 39, they're 13 and 4. But how about when they're under 30? When we talked to Doug Collins about the fact that he's getting 24 shots a game, you know, people fail to talk about how many assists he has. He's second on the team in rebounding. And then, you know, as you step back from all of this, is that you realize that, hey, this team won 50 games last year, and they're still at the same point as they were last year, 19 and 14 right now, in spite of all of their changes.
Reggie Lewis going to the hoop. Reggie Lewis now with 30 points. He is approaching his season and career high established against the Bulls here. 33 at Boston by 2. Winding down to 4 minutes to go in the fourth period. Ainge is all over Hodges. Jordan. Cartwright. Pippen back in. He's playing with 5 fouls. He's got to be in there though. Cartwright with 1 second on the clock. Muscles his way in against Parrish and ties the score again. We have had 23 ties today.
There was nothing that Parrish could do on that. He played that perfectly. But Billy Cartwright is so wide across the back that, you know, there's nothing you can do when he goes for that hook.
You know, he talked about all the things Jordan does. He has 8 steals today. That's 5 more than he's averaged on the year. Parrish with a long shot for him. Air ball. Pippen has it. Bulls trying to take the lead. Jordan. Ainge blocks him off. Quick passing. Pippen. And it'll go out of bounds. Celtics ball. So the Bulls had a shot.
Watch Billy now exhaust the clock as the clock is down. He'll run a drop step to the bay. There it is right there for the hook. Anytime that a good pivot man catches you with a drop step moving, it's so difficult, especially if he takes that hook.
Cartwright with 21 points, so he's over 20 again. Ainge rims the hoop, rebound by Michael Jordan. To go, and Hodges hits the shot. Craig Hodges gives the Bulls a 102 to 100 lead. You don't think they enjoy having that three-point or an outside shot maker on this team?
Well, Craig Hodges has always been one of the highest field goal percentage guys in the league on the three-point shot.
Crowd revved up here. 8 on the shot clock. McHale will go to the line as he's fouled. The Bulls are in the penalty anyway with 2:22 to go, and the foul is on Grant, 4 on Horace. Doug Collins, who said this is the hardest of the 3 years that he's been at coach because he knew things would not fit in for a while with all the new faces, trying to get Cartwright acclimated and all the rest.
Well, he said that the expectations of winning more than 50 games, also all of the front court people being moved to the starting lineup, and then the injury to Pippen early in the year. So, you know, he's handled it well. Plus, they have played 4 less games at home than they have on the road. That's in their favor.
It certainly is. McHale with the 2 free throws. Ties it again.
Both teams are shooting the penalty now.
Jordan, little room to work with. Michael Jordan with 40 points in the game and has scored 15 of the 24 the Bulls have in this fourth period. 104-102 Chicago. The Celtics keep tying it up and the Bulls keep taking the lead. McHale double. Lewis is open. Great body work out in midair by Reggie Lewis, who has 32 points.
His last 2 field goals have come from the same spot. 2 great shots.
Jordan cutting in. 11 on the shot clock. Hodges hit one before. Not that time. Parrish with a rebound. Now the Celtics with an opportunity late in the fourth quarter to take a lead. Timeout, Boston. This is quite a game we have, UB. The Celtics and the Bulls going down to the nub. Jordan for the Bulls, and a great teamwork here by the Celtics.
Well, watch McHale now drop this pass off to Reggie Lewis coming right down the lane. There he is, and watch the change of the shot. Beautiful.
Just the key? Looks can be deceiving. This is Chrysler's Crystal Key. The key to everything. It unlocks New Yorker's V6 anti-lock brakes, the most advanced transmission, Ultra Drive, an abundance of rich Corinthian leather, and better owner care than even Rolls or Mercedes. New Yorker's Crystal Key gives you the one thing you always wanted. Everything.
Now get $750 cash back on New Yorker Landau.
The thing on a personal level that probably frustrates all of us, most of us, certainly myself personally, is when you hear companies using up to X% less. And you really need to do your homework before you choose intelligently. We have distance sensitivity, time of day, day of week sensitivity. Most cases, our cost differential will be small enough that the quality will more than differentiate you staying with AT&T.
Pure, genuine, never heat pasteurized. A beer that's made unlike any other. Cold filtered to give you the rich, smooth taste of real draft beer. That's the mark of a great beer. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. It's as real as it gets.
We're tied at 104 with 1:20 to go in the fourth period here at Chicago. Tonight on CBS, be sure to see 60 Minutes as the president talks about the first lady talks about the president. And they both talk about what they liked and didn't like during their 8 years in the White House. 60 Minutes is followed by Murder, She Wrote, and then it's the CBS Sunday movie Unconquered, starring Peter Coyote. That's all tonight on CBS. Timeout Story, and you'll see the Celtics have but 1. Chicago has 3 plus a 20. And both teams, as Hubie mentioned, are in the penalty. Michael Jordan has 40 points. Reggie Lewis has 32, including 10 this period.
Well, strategically, in the last 5 minutes, the Celtics have been coming down the floor and setting up on the right side with bringing Kevin McHale towards the ball. And here comes the pick on the baseline, and they're bringing McHale to the ball.
And now Jordan doesn't quite double. Grant is on McHale. Pippen double teams. Looking inside. Open man Lewis. Tipped up by Parrish. Rebound by Chicago's Hodges. And Pippen out-scraps them. No jump ball. And Scottie Pippen got the ball away. Cartwright against McHale is fouled.
You must dunk in that situation. That was a great pass by Michael Jordan. And when Cartwright took that ball, he went so strong to the hole. Now, Kevin McHale, because in the NBA, you know, you've got to try for the block. They're not giving you the charge.
Look at this hustle. Pippen made this happen. They were about ready to call the jump ball.
Both teams giving everything here. But at the other end, that was a monster jam by Cartwright. Most coaches would rather see you take it to the basket, though, with two hands.
McHale's foul, his second, with 52 seconds remaining. Cartwright with 21 points in the game. He is 4 for 5 from the line.
Well, Billy through his career as a 78% foul shooter. That's why it's interesting this year. He's only shooting 71 from the line, but I think that people will see that picked up as the year moves on.
That ties the season high for Bill Cartwright. 23 points. The Bulls lead by 2. 16 on the 24-second clock for Boston. McHale double goes in for the scoop, falls off the rim. Rebound, Jordan. 36 seconds to go. And they'll open it up and spread out to a four-corner.
Well, that's the story now. The philosophy is, do you let them run the clock down and shoot it because you're going to get one shot, rely on your defense, or do you go foul them early?
5 seconds on the shot clock. Pippen open, banks it in, big basket.
Big.
And Doug Collins indicated that. Timeout, Boston. They're going wild in Chicago.
Which side are you on? Come on, come on, come on. Tastes great. Let's Philly. Tastes great. Let's Philly. Tastes great. In this world you gotta choose. When it's Miller Lite, you can't lose. Tastes great. Let's Philly. Tastes great.
Miller Lite isn't just a regular beer with a watered-down taste. When it's Miller Lite, let's Philly tastes great.
Let's Philly. Tastes great. Let's Philly. Tastes great.
Now, the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette, personal hygiene. How will you separate yourselves from those barbaric hordes that exude a most malodorous air? Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Maximum protection and a fresh scent. A veritable olfactory medley. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Raise your glasses, gentlemen, to civilization.
Pat O'Brien here in New York City, going to get you back to the exciting finish in Chicago in just a moment. But to update you on that Virginia upset today, they upset North Carolina 106-83. Richard Morgan, 39 points on the day. But the story of the game for the Tar Heels was Jeff Lebo severely sprains his left ankle. He's going to a hospital tonight in Chapel Hill, and his situation is uncertain at this time. But Virginia upsets North Carolina. And now back to the Madhouse on Madison.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. The Bulls have a 4-point lead with 17 seconds, and the Celtics have used their last timeout. That's got to have a big effect on what they do with 17 seconds left.
Well, they have to score very quickly. First, let's look at this replay right now. Grant working very hard on Kevin McHale. Here comes Kevin coming down inside. Now, this was a great shot, but it didn't fall. Let's go back to the strategy right now. If the Celtics can score quickly, they must put on full court pressure. Whether it's going to be zone or man-to-man will depend upon what Jimmy Rogers has practiced in the situation right now. Then you go for the quick steal. And if you can deny the pass and make the steal, then you must continue to play because you have no timeouts left. People will say, well, should they take a three right now? What you do is you take the best shot available to you right now. The key is to score quickly and then force a turnover.
You think sometimes teams go to the three too soon?
Oh, I do, yeah, but this, I don't know if we'll see that in this situation. The only three-point shooter on the floor right now would be Danny Ainge, and he'll only take it if he's wide open. They need a quick score.
Dennis Johnson looking for his way in against the taller Grant. Misses. Loose ball. Jordan has it. He's fouled with 8 seconds to go, and that'll just about do it for the Boston Celtics.
That was excellent strategy. Dennis got down in there. You cannot get a better shot than Dennis had at the basket. And then if anyone double teamed, you knew that when the shot went up, they would have been crashing the offensive board. But you know what? Great strategy by Chicago. They played Dennis Johnson man-to-man, and no one doubled, so that when that rebound went up, they all had a chance at it.
And, of course, Grant was alert to switch out, and he faced the big 6'10" Grant when he went up for that shot. The great defense of the Chicago Bulls down the stretch, because the Celtics have not hit a basket in 4.5 minutes in the final part of the fourth quarter, and you're not going to win many games that way. Cartwright is out, gets a hand as he scores 23 points. Matches his season's high. Jordan looking for number 42. He's got it. 42 for Michael Jordan. Danny Ainge, time running out. Too little, too late. And that'll do it. The Bulls win it. Celtics gave the Bulls all they could handle, but for Doug Collins, Cartwright, and Jordan, they have now won 4 in a row, and the Bulls are 20-14 on the year in a very tough Central Division race. The final score 110-104 over the Celtics. And our Miller Lite player of the game has to be none other than Michael Jordan. 42 points, 11 assists, 9 steals. And Light Beer is proud to present a check.